So I think when we're looking at different technology markets, one of the assumptions that a lot of people make is that every technology is destined for the mass market, and that's not necessarily the case. A couple of examples with drones and 3D printers that were very, very popular and attracted a lot of attention at the 2015 CES. Take 3D printers, for example. I think here is a technology that is probably going to have a deeper impact on the commercial side versus the consumer side. So in several years, it's very likely that some of the products we buy will be manufactured with the 3D printing method. It's less likely that we'll all own 3D printers and print our own cell phone cases or kitchen spatulas or chess sets or whatever it is. So more application on the consumer side, the commercial side for 3D printers. But there are several products that we saw manifest at the 2015 International CES that we do believe are destined for the mass market and will invariably reshape and refashion the market opportunity in the years to come. And here they are listed for you, and I'm going to step through and talk about what we might expect to see in some of these categories that are so nascent and emerging today, but we're seeing rapid developments. So take smart home, where we've been talking about smart home for more than a decade. And what's really interesting today is that this concept, this idea, is really becoming reality, and it's becoming reality very fast. And it's happening not exactly as we thought. We previously thought that this would be installed technology, fixed in the home, and actually it's the reverse of that. It's innovative products that are do-it-yourself or DIY that are actually driving the majority of the market opportunity here. And so we're starting to see connected solutions for every room in the home, every zone of the home, and what it's all adding up to is intelligent living spaces that actually care for the occupants instead of the reverse, occupants caring for the home, which is a nice change. One of the other assumptions with smart home is that this is intrinsically difficult. Well, I can install these technologies and so forth, but it's got to be very difficult. I need to be an expert or something. Well, that's not true. In fact, making your home smart is almost as easy as screwing in a light bulb. And I showed this example of the single snap that we've heard about connected lighting for years, but this takes that a step further, adding a camera, a microphone, and a speaker. So to get connected lighting along with the security system, you simply have to screw in the light bulb. And of course, connect it with your smartphone. That's pretty easy. So a neat example of sophistication and simplicity. And that's, I think, what really embodies this trend of smartphone, these DIY solutions. Sophisticated solutions that are quite simple in their execution. Some more examples. The Tamno welcome camera uses face recognition technology. When you put this in the entryway, the kids come home from school, you get an alert that they've arrived there and they're okay. 7Hug's sleep monitoring system. Sleep monitoring has become a very big trend in the overall health and wellness. This is for the whole family with these nodules that you can put under the mattress, so sleep monitoring for the whole family. And outside the home, in the swimming pool, in the garden, there are smart home solutions that can help us lead healthier, better lives. Virtual reality and augmented reality. Here's a really, really interesting trend and one of my personal favorites, and something I think that will really inspire a whole new wave of creativity. And I like to say that there are 2 billion reasons why you should pay attention to virtual reality, as a reference to Facebook's purchase of Oculus for $2 billion US. So quite a hefty sum, but clearly they believe in the future of this technology. What can we expect this year? Well, at the 2015 International CES, we saw something that's happened over the past several years when it comes to new markets, is everyone in the industry starting to jump in. And that's creating a lot of different form factors, a lot of new development platforms. And so for this year, I think the word to describe what's happening in virtual reality is experimentation. Experimentation. And a lot of this is happening in entertainment. Not just gaming, but in movie production. Pairing virtual reality with 360-degree cameras So you don't have to just watch the movie, you can be inside the movie. And what's interesting here is that this endeavor is rewriting the rules of filmmaking, because when we think about watching a movie today, we watch characters and a scene, and then there's a cut to an entirely different setting with other characters, and we're quite comfortable making that very instantaneous transition, aren't we? But when it comes to virtual reality, that's like being teleported to an entirely new world. So filmmakers are having to rethink how they make those transitions when it comes to virtual reality. And we'll wait and see on productivity and business, no doubt. A lot of experimentation, searching for those use case scenarios that make sense and make profits. Wearables, just a little bit to add here. I don't want to belabor the point. Many of you are aware of some of the trends that are happening here, but we allocated a great amount of space to this emerging category because there's no shortage of innovation. A lot of fragmentation, segmentation starting to happen. Smartwatches are evolving and becoming more watch-like, which is probably not surprising. The early plays were very techy and clunky. Now we're seeing them go back to the beginning, the original design philosophy of looking like a watch. Health and wellness technology, we're aware of fitness trackers, things like Fitbit and so forth that are either clipped on the belt or wearing worn other places on the body, maybe on the wrist. But what's interesting here is we're seeing a number of brands that have been outside the technology space, brands like Under Armour, the clothing apparel manufacturer, sports apparel, entering the tech market, becoming a tech brand with an app. And also we're embedding these sensors in a variety of other devices, so well beyond just simple fitness trackers, in bicycles, in knit caps. The list goes on and on. So this is the segmentation and fragmentation. There are hundreds of ways that consumers can experience and benefit from that quantified self trend. Lots of different ways. And we saw it all at the 2015 International CES. Robotics is another one that is a little bit sci-fi. Certainly when we think about Toshiba's communication android, very, very realistic looking. She talked, she sang, but the solutions here are ranging from sci-fi and the exotic with this communication android to quite simple applications of the technology. I like to represent with GrillBot. So you put these little guys on the hibachi grill and they scrub around and do their thing, so you don't have to worry about really working up a sweat just to grill or have a barbecue. So really interesting applications for robotics. Last but not least, automotive. I could spend a half day describing a lot of the trends that are present here in the automotive space. Here's a view of the dashboard of the Audi TT. This is a display. The entire dashboard is a display, and the driver can customize this to have as much or as little information as they like. So really, really interesting customization. But we know the story around connected car, but some of the trends that are happening here, and this will continue to play out in 2015 and beyond in terms of connectivity, is we're syncing up a number of the apps that have been maybe just limited to the car or just limited to the phone. Ford has a genre of development around what they describe as My Energy apps. So a lot of the apps that are on your phone today to control those smart home systems will be through an API passed through to the vehicle, and you can control those apps here. So when you're on your drive home, you can turn up the heat. No need to pull out the phone and do the same. Autonomous features are probably the most talked about and fun to talk about, to be honest, when it comes to the vehicle space. But I think that well before we sit inside a driverless car and take a ride, we will experience as consumers more semi-autonomous features such as self-parking, adaptive cruise control. So these are probably the features that will have a more immediate impact on our society and create more immediate business opportunity while we continue to develop the infrastructure and the technology around self-driving cars. So just to summarize for you, we've discussed how the consumer technology market is hitting new new highs, over $1 trillion US dollars in 2014. 2015's figure will no doubt be higher on the back of a lot of those emerging tech sectors that I described. Innovation is omnipresent. And ladies and gentlemen, when you're talking innovation, you're talking international CES. So I certainly hope that you'll join us at CES Asia in May for our inaugural event, and certainly for the 2016 CES in Las Vegas. どうもありがとうございます。